Folks, welcome into the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, look at that. Am your host of DFS Bachelor. Do I have that right? I should probably change the banner. This is live TV, folks. But we're going to go over the NBA Fanduel and Draftkings slate. Doing this a long time, right? I am really stoked today because to double our knowledge, which even before the show, thank God they're on, or we were going to be missing out on a great play today because my dumbass was going to miss it. So it's fantastic. I'm really excited to have the DFS Whisperers with us. If you have not checked them out, be sure to go to their Twitter page, go to their YouTube page, subscribe to their channel. They do awesome work. If you knew all the work they do behind the scenes too on Draft Dashboard, helping me look good as well, it's a big, big plus, and I'm really excited for you guys to be here. How you doing this morning?
Fantastic, man.
Yeah, doing well. Getting ready to get through this NBA slate.
You know it. I'm trying to fix the little banner thing. So is there anywhere, just for everyone, maybe they haven't seen you guys before, they don't know who you are, tell everyone where you can find them, what you have going on, how long you've been doing this, and I'm going to see if I can figure this out because I'm an idiot.
Yep.
I don't know.
You could take over that while I drop a link in here.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we started back in 2019, early, and this is something we've been talking about for a minute. Me and my brother Easy, like every single day for at least the last, I want to say 4 years. Wake up in the morning, talk about DFS, talk about DFS midday, talk about DFS going to sleep. So eventually we were just like, hey man, let's just do the same shit we doing, but do it behind the camera. And we knew other providers was doing it like yourself, especially when we saw you. When we saw how raw and uncut you were, we was like, yo, that's exactly how we
don't copy me too much. You get in trouble. You get in a lot of trouble. I'm trying to fix this damn thing. I do not know how to fix. It's just going to stay up how it is. There's a little bit of an echo when you talk.
Yeah.
I think if that's right. I don't know if that's right. If everyone can hear that, or maybe just me. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, maybe because we have two different speakers.
Oh, that might be it. That might be it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I see. I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback, and hey, we're live. Don't worry, guys. We're getting to the NBA picks here in just a moment. As we get going, first things first, thank you all, first of all, for joining us in the chat box, joining the show. Appreciate you all subscribing to all of our content, all of our channels. I really appreciate that. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. We do hockey live shows now, all sorts of stuff. If you want player pools, research, cheat sheets, articles, COVID articles, which our boy Whisper does for us so graciously, because I wouldn't be able to do that. Click that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard 30 days for $1. If you want their player pool, go to their channel, click their link, and you can get their player pool as well. So all that stuff is available to us. So we got an 8-game slate, starts a little bit an hour later than usual. So we get a little bit of extra time to digest everything, if you will. Looks like we lost one camera or something. We lost.
I just went on. Just let him know I went off the mic.
He's off the mic for a second. He's just trying to find his AirPods, but he'll be back.
Oh, okay. No problem. Yeah, no problem. Look, and then we could just do this little thing here where we could just make it 2. There's some way to do it. I don't know. I'm not even going to mess with it. So anyways, let's just jump right into it. Should we just jump into it? I'm starting here at point guard. If we're looking up top, like studs at point guard, what are you looking at today? Who you like?
Man. Well, one thing we do on our channel, you could always talk about the Lucas, Dames, but typically I like to go with the people that, most people don't really like to talk about. Like Ja Morant at 7,100. I have some interest in him.
Yeah.
He's 71 on DK, and let me see what he actually is on FanDuel right now.
7.9, I think. He's 7.9 on FanDuel.
That's
Either way, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it too. 85 dash ranking going to this game against San Antonio, and one narrative that we like to run is always running guards against San Antonio. They do not defend well, and we know Ja Morant, he's aggressive as hell, has triple-double upside, and we know he hasn't been back that long, but I might actually have a lot of interest in Ja Morant. What you think of him?
Yeah, I love Ja Morant. You got San Antonio. Not just San Antonio stinks defensively against guards, but they're also on a back-to-back. Still going to be no Jaren Jackson Jr., possibly no Valanciunas as well. So then you could have even extra usage. Sometimes I like it when Valanciunas plays with him because the assist upside is there, and you like that when you're playing your point guard. But Ja Morant's going to play over 30 minutes. He came back from the injury, played 30 and 34 minutes. All he did the last time he played the Spurs, fucking 68. Like I can deal with the 68. You're not going to get that every time. You're like, oh, we got a 60. I mean, it doesn't happen like that every fucking time. But no, I like John Morant a lot. And just looking up top, like I still love Dame. Anytime there's not going to be CJ McCollum, it's extra usage for Dame, and he's got that 70-point upside. So if I'm paying up, like Luka on a back-to-back against Phoenix has been sneaky good against point guards. They've allowed the fewest fantasy points in the league to opposing point guards. Chris Paul, even though he's a smaller guy, he's a vicious defender. And Phoenix is playing good defense. Like across the board, Phoenix is actually playing much, much better defense than they did before. So I'm not as big on Luka today. Now, he could go get 90 tonight, and I'll look like a complete jackass, and it won't be the first time. It won't be the last time. I mean, that's just how it goes. You guys know how it goes. But, like, Dame and then John Morant for me. Is there anyone else, like, say, above 7K at point guard that, or 7K above, maybe Deontay Murray? Anyone else you guys are looking at?
Personally, I like Chris Paul a lot because, Devin Booker is still out, Cam Payne is still out, and Saric. So you got Chris Paul at 72.
Is he going to be back tonight? Is Booker going to be back tonight?
No, he's out again. He's already been ruled out. So you got Chris Paul at 7,200 on FanDuel and 76 on DraftKings. I mean, that's a great price once again. If the game stays competitive, Chris Paul should do his thing here. He's at a 36 and a 42 against them already. And he's getting a lot of assists, and as long as Ayton does well, Chris Paul's numbers go up because you can't rely on freaking Mikal Bridges and the whole crew.
I love Mikal. I love Bridges. He always hits for me. Bridges always gets there for me. Every time I play him, he's money. I love that guy.
Talk about hit or miss play right there.
He is. I seem to hit him when I play.
I hate that dude, man. I hate that dude. he robs me. And the funny part is I'll pick him today. He'll go out for like 17, and then the immediate next game, he'll get 17 in the first quarter.
Yep.
And I'm like, seriously, dude, you could have gave me that game.
I think with Booker out too, his value just goes up because Booker has such a high, he's such a big part of that offense. Once he's out, it kind of spreads around a little bit. And Bridges is a decent defender too. He's one of the reasons that they are much better defensive. Like in the past, it's weird. Like last year, it's like, Phoenix, New Orleans, attack. Not this year. Phoenix, New Orleans playing a different defense. Stan Van Gundy over there in New Orleans. So it's different. You don't have those, Mercedes you can ride the DFS goodness in Phoenix and New Orleans like you used to have. It's just kind of interesting there. What about Deontay Murray sitting 6'3" DraftKings? I know it's a back-to-back, and it's hard to trust Popovich with guards on back-to-backs. That's the nervous situation there. But nonetheless, like, man, this kid is getting over 30 minutes finally.
Yeah.
Against Memphis.
Finally cutting him loose.
And 50-point upside at 6'3". Are we down with Deontay Murray today?
Hell yeah. Always in play. Triple-double upside every time he steps on the court. And on DraftKings, you want players like that. It's kind of like on hockey, too, where on DraftKings, you got to target the players to get bonus points because it goes a long way. And Deontay Murray, he could go out there and get a 11 with about 3 steals and 2 blocks. And 6,300 turns into 60 points easily. So I like him a lot. And I also wanted to talk about DeLon Wright at 6,166. If we get news that either Blake Griffin or Derrick Rose sits, he's always a decent player, and people still don't want to pay a $6,100 price tag or a $6,600 price tag for DeLon Wright, but he carries the upside. I mean, he put up 56 a couple of days ago, so if we get any news that Blake Griffin or Rose, which happens almost every other game, that they're going to sit out for injury management or whatever the hell it is, I like DeLon Wright.
I don't disagree with DeLon Wright. What do you think? You like DeLon Wright as well?
I like DeLon Wright as well. I mean, he was pretty cheap, priced up there, like my brother was saying. People might get scared off his price tag, but the guy has major upside. I'm willing to go there mainly for ownership purposes. Despite Blake being back or whatever, I'll run to DeLon Wright. I'll give him a shot.
Yep, love it. I figured out how to take care of the echo. I could just mute one mic at a time. I mean, look at that, just producing 101. So if I accidentally have you guys muted the first half second, I'll let you know as I figure out the timing. You know what I mean? I gotta see when your eyes light up when you're ready to talk and all that. I'm getting fucking old, man. I've already started drinking. I mean, it's Saturday, so you cannot drink all day if you don't start in the morning. That's an absolute fact. That's just how that works. So we'll get all that shit sorted out. I like Delon Wright too. I remember getting some of that 60-point upside with him back in Toronto occasionally when he would get those minutes when he was, back when Van Fleet was still a backup. So there was a lot of that stuff going on there. So I agree with all that. A couple other guys maybe I would look at. John Wall at 6'8" on DK. I could go there. I'm not opposed to that. Jrue Holiday, you just get low ownership with him. It is a back-to-back. Maybe they give Giannis a little bit of a respite, and Jrue Holiday takes over a little more. So that's, if you're just looking at some other plays. I will not play De'Aaron Fox on a back-to-back. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's one player that we've had beef with recently. Especially when he's in a good spot, man. I thought, what was it the other night? We was threatening to take down. We can't really hold this against him, but the man came out and got hurt. But
he always does. He always does.
Like the second time he came in and got hurt, like when we were threatening to take down.
Yeah, that's what he does. He gets a tummy ache at halftime and he stays in the locker room for the rest of the fucking game. I can't stand De'Aaron Fox. If it's not a back-to-back, I'm down. But if it's a back-to-back, like I'm just wait for it tonight. De'Aaron Fox headed to the locker room. His shin hurts.
I do have one more player that I do want to talk about in point guard, and I'm just basement diving here, but Anthony Simons with not Gary Trent. It's Derrick Jones Jr. and McCollum ruled out.
Yep.
He should see a couple more extra minutes because he can play small forward at times when they want to go real small. So, and if his shot is falling at 3.6, he pays that price tag off easy. I mean, his hit percentage is about 38%, which is actually not bad for that spot. So I could dumpster dive with Anthony Simons at point guard.
Yeah, especially if Robert Covington is out again as well. He's with that concussion. If you get him out. And speaking of value plays, I'm glad you went down there. So if we go, 6K and below and all the way down to value, there's not a ton that I like here at point guard anyways, just kind of looking at the position by itself. It's like it gets pretty dicey down there. What are you guys looking at value plays? We mentioned Simons. Anyone else down there that you like?
It's ugly.
Yeah. I'm scared to run back to a Gary Trent Jr.
Oh God!
We kind of got this thing that on our show. I don't know how much we talked about it. I know personally between me and my brother, when a bum has 2 good games in a row, we tend to fade him like third straight time because it's like, what are the odds?
Exactly. Very slim.
He was just featured on Shaq and the Fool, so who knows?
Oh God!
We've seen players be featured on that on those clips, and then somehow damn near breaking the slate the next go round.
That's what's beautiful about the NBA. NBA is the best narrative sport of all the DFS plays. The narratives carry sometimes to my detriment. I'll get too caught up on it. I'm like, oh man, this guy dated this guy's girl. Like, boom, boom, boom. They fucking hate each other. I'm like, boom, I'm playing him, and then he gets me 5. It gives me a Rodney Hood performance or something, and that's Rodney Hood. What about Patty Mills, I guess on Fanduel at 4K. I usually hate playing Patty Mills. It's like probably my least favorite player to play in all of might be Patty Mills because I just know I'm going to be fucking burned. But again, close to 30 minutes. Memphis, Memphis and San Antonio, these aren't the 2 slowest teams in the league anymore. You go back 2 years, it's like, oh God, Memphis Spurs. These are the 2 slowest teams in the league. That's not the case anymore. They both play at a decent pace, so there's some of that. And then, really, that's it. Jalen Brunson, I guess, he's still going to see about 25 minutes. We'll see if they ramp up Josh Richardson. That's a window licker from yesterday. Like, come the fuck on, Josh Richardson. You're at 4-1. Do something. And he got to like 10 at the half, and I'm like, all right. We're going to get there. He's going to get like 25, and we'll be good to go. And then, of course, he shit the bed. They're playing again today. Trey Burke, since they're on a back-to-back, maybe they ease Richardson back. He's always got that. Like he's going to probably get 15, but if he gets red hot, he can go get you, he can just bust off for 35. Trey Burke's one of those like tournament dart throws. If you're playing a bunch of lineups, it's not really what I do, but if you're playing a bunch of lineups, I would have some exposure because he could be the guy that just goes the fuck off and breaks the slate. Anything else at point guard, guys, before we go to shooting guard?
Nothing from me.
Yeah, nothing that I absolutely love. So.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Shooting guards. It looks ugly at the top. I always get afraid when I see Zach LaVine as the most expensive play. It's that's a scary, scary proposition. It is a great matchup. Attacking Portland is absolutely money this year. Portland's defense is atrocious. It actually has been for several years. And now that Carmelo Anthony's getting more minutes with the injuries, with Covington, if he doesn't go, Derrick Jones, who's a good defender, you put Carmelo Anthony. It's like, well, I could score on fucking Carmelo Anthony. And 40. Yeah. And, I haven't dunked in years. And by that, I mean, I've never dunked. So there you go. I mean, I'm 5'10" and jump like 13 inches, well, 5'11", 5'11" with shoes on. Like when I'm on the court, you're looking at a legit basic 6-footer. Okay. I'm out there.
2 5'11".
Oh, yeah. Man, you're the same height.
Yeah. So I could
down there.
Man, shut up. You're like 3 inches taller.
I get that shit from everybody. And it's not my fault. My mom didn't take prenatals. It was the 80s, the early 80s. Like, it's the Wild fucking West. She's trying to hide me and go to school straight, what's that damn movie? I forget. One of those damn 80s movies, But so no prenatals. If my mom took prenatals, I'd probably be 6'1", 6'2", maybe have a good, maybe could touch the rim. But no.
Maybe I should have been breastfed more. I would have been tall as my brother.
Well, mom's always got to have a favorite. So mom's always like, my little brother who's 9 years younger is like 6'4". Fucking just pisses me off. Pisses me off.
How you think I feel, bro?
All right. So shooting guards. So we talked about LaVine, but Portland is 25th against shooting guards. So if we're talking, guys, there's only a few options up here. So if we go above that like 6K range, 6K and up, who do you like at shooting guard today?
I love DeMar DeRozan again today at 7,300 on Fanduel and 7K on Draftkings. It's just crazy. Like, you could literally just go back to Murray and DeRozan again today, because one thing I like about DeRozan's game this year is he's getting way more assists than usual. Mm-hmm. And that runs up your numbers quick, and then it gives you, once again, that double-double upside. So I love the spot for DeRozan going up against Memphis. I like targeting Memphis with point guards, just basically guards in general that can shoot or get points, because they tend to always go off against Memphis. Guards and another thing. But 7,300 DeRozan looks good. I hate playing Andrew Wiggins, so you could just, man, I'm not even going to say it. I hate
it. Me too. Man. Me too.
He's going to feel like playing basketball that day.
Yeah. I got to get really lucky with him. And Tyler Hero, if he goes at 6,700, I mean, last game he put up a 41 on DraftKings. I had him at like 5% ownership. Yeah. As long as, which Dragic has already been ruled out, I believe, him and Jimmy Butler. So as long as he plays, he basically has to do everything, him and Bam Adebayo. So their double-double chances go up. And we've seen Tyler Hero get more rebounds as well, because they stagger his minutes pretty decently with Bam Adebayo. So I like Tyler Hero at 6'7" and 7,200 on DraftKings. My math is not as good.
Yeah, 7-2. Sacramento allows the most fantasy points in the league to opposing shooting guards. Sacramento Kings terrible defensively in the backcourt.
And I'm actually over here looking at. I love when he went to this team, because I know he has a huge void to fill in the offense ever since Olive Garden Harden left. Victor Oladipo at 7,900 on DraftKings.
Yep.
76 dash ranking going up against this matchup against New Orleans. I mean, he's projected to get about 40 in this matchup with a 50% chance to hit 5 times value. But I've said, man,
I like Oladipo ever since he went to Houston. Yeah, we're getting Oladipo from 2 years ago finally. Like last year, he was coming back from injury. It was all that shit. He looked like shit. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. I think it's a nice get for Houston out of that whole. You could have done worse than bringing Oladipo over in that James Harden deal. Usually you don't get anybody, you know how it works out. So I think, I like Oladipo. New Orleans allows the 8th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Mm-hmm. High usage rate in the 30s. I'm right there with you. Anyone else up top there before I spew off of my little bit of bullshit that I like up here?
You good. Yeah. Go do your thing, bro.
I'm trying to time this muting thing. Apparently, I am not a great producer, but I'm doing my best. So I don't mean to have someone muted when they talk. I'm trying to make it sound as good as possible. That makes sense. Again, real quick, thank you guys for joining us in the chat box. Chris and Kayum and I think I pronounced that right. I shouldn't even try to read those names right. I'll just call it Q because I love Star Trek and I love Q from Star Trek. Chris and Christopher and Continental, we appreciate all you guys. And yes, Zach LaVine can break us late, or he can also break you heart with like 28 when you pay like 9.5 for him. Zach LaVine's a pain in my ass. I will on occasion play him. Usually when I'm like, ooh, I desperately want to play Zach LaVine, I just bite the bullet and pray to God that Kobe White hits his shots, and I play Kobe White and just pray to God that he gets the Zach LaVine type upside game there. I'm with you guys. DeRozan, nice history against Memphis too. 55, 62, and 52 in 3 of his last 4 games against Memphis. It is a back-to-back. DeRozan's another one of those guys, but again, you're paying $7K this time instead of $9K. So, hey, if he gets to like 31 and it's not the greatest game, he doesn't kill you. You can absolutely cash as well. You're probably not going to take anything down, but you can still cash. So there is some of that upside. I'm with you. I'm not playing Wiggins. Look, Detroit sucks. Detroit might be the worst team in the league. Them, maybe Oklahoma City. It's kind of a toss-up. Minnesota's pretty fucking bad. Yeah. There's some pretty bad teams, but Detroit is down there with them. He does have at least 30 and 5 straight against Detroit. I wish I hadn't looked at that. Yeah, I don't want to play Andrew Wiggins, but he is 6'3". I wish I had looked at that. 50, 52, 30, 34, and 40. That's his last 5. 50 in back-to-back games against Detroit. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Playing the odds right there.
Oh God, I wish I hadn't done that. Let's see. Like Buddy Hield, I think it's too expensive for Buddy Hield. I know it's Miami. That's another team that's struggling defensively, and usually that's because right now that's because no Butler. They're just so short-handed back there that Jimmy Butler really stabilizes the wing defense for Miami. But right now they're allowing the 3rd most fantasy points to shooting guards. Any love for Buddy Hield at 6'3" on both sides, or is that asking for pain?
See, I hate playing scoring with dependent players. Like, unless I know you can consistently give me 30 points, like it's rough. But when Buddy Hield gets hot, he gets hot, man. And that 3-point bonus on Draftkings helps, but on Fanduel, I just can't do it. I can't do it with him. You need some sort of incentive when it comes to scoring dependent players, and that's normally most of the shooting guards. That's why people tend to punt in this position a lot, unless you got like Harden or, the regulars. Because even Zach LaVine, you like playing Zach LaVine, but he rarely gets those 8, 9 assist games. So, and if he doesn't do that, he could score 50 points and only get 50 points. So,
do you want to hear Buddy Hield's last 5 games against Miami? Because it's gonna make it hurt again. There's another one right here.
Go ahead, pick me up and drop me on the wall.
Here it is right here. 35, 52, 37, 46, 45. That's his last 5 against Miami. That's so I got to stop looking at that. That's so painful. That's so damn painful. If for some reason like Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum don't play, like we get that, and you never know. Be sure to follow some of us on Twitter at DFS Whispers. You see it there at DFS Bachelor. Follow somebody, because if you're not getting news like up to minute in NBA, you're fucked this year. The COVID thing is running a rough shot over everything. So like if one of those guys are out, then I play Marcus Smart, because then he'll get all the usage and he can hit value. But until that's the scenario, if they're both playing, I'm usually, unless he's under 6K, then I'll think about it. If he's like at 5'6", 5'7", then I'll go there. God, Devontae Graham, he's such a terrible shooter. He's cheap though on FanDuel. He's cheap on FanDuel at 5'9". There's no way I'll pay the 6'8" on DK. All right, going under 6K down to some value on shooting guard. What do you guys like down here?
All right.
Oh, you got to unmute yourself up at the top. You muted yourself.
Oh, there we go.
Now you're in.
As we go.
Yeah, no, it's no problem. It's live to you. Come on, that's how it works.
Yep, Tyrese Halliburton. I like him at 4,900 on both sites. He's a kid that the Kings are high on. He's getting 30 minutes a night, and he stuffs the stat sheet. Like, he does every little thing. So when you get a $4,900 player that can consistently hit at least, about 20 25 to 30 and has that 40-point upside and also almost had a 50-point game this year. I like Halliburton in this spot a lot. Going up against Miami, which no Goran Dragic, no Butler, their defense is not as good as the numbers may show. It's actually even worse now. So I like Halliburton, and a guy that I've been playing a lot, which I'm not happy about it. You're a Laker fan, so you know him, Wayne Ellington. I mean, he's been coming through.
He has
4,600 on Fanduel. He's been consistently getting about 23 to 25, 26 or so.
Dude, I've been playing Wayne Ellington. I've been on the Wayne Ellington train, especially on DK if he hits his threes. Boom, boom, boom.
Exactly. So going up against this horrible Golden State team, he could easily get you a 30 spot at very, very cheap. Also, quick shout out to all the Discord people that are joining in and shouting us out. Appreciate y'all coming in to check us out and subscribe to Bachelor's page, man. One of the best to do it out here.
I'd appreciate it. And AJ, is that everything you have at value? So I could now I've figured out a way. It's starting to click in my head. There's some coffee in my booze, so it's starting to wake me up just a little bit. What do you like down here under 6K, AJ?
We getting better with time. It's funny because I was actually looking directly at Wayne Ellington when he came out his mouth.
Yep.
I was going to talk about how terrible that Golden State team was, and so
they're bad.
With him, DeLon Wright and Wayne Ellington, that's an easy go for me. I mean, you could take a look at. I mean, he's not below 6K, but he could be sneaky at times, even though he could be scoring reliant. Eric Gordon at 6'2". So I mean, you never want to turn the blind eye to him. But other than that, man, there's nothing I'm absolutely in love with below 6K.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I guess a guy like Lonnie Walker, he'll get 30 minutes now. He can go get you 10 like he did yesterday, but he's also got some 30-point upside. He's 3.8 FanDuel, 4.3 DraftKings. These are some dart through. Josh Richardson's under 4K on FanDuel. He did play 25 minutes. I mean, he played 25 minutes. When you're down here, they're under 4K for a reason because they fucking suck. But if they're going to play 30 minutes once in a while, I mean, these are the guys when you look at the first place lineup, you're like, okay, who won 100,000 today? Then you look at the lineup. You're like, who in the fuck stacks Lonnie Walker, DeMar DeRozan, Deontay Murray, and Jacob Poeltl together and wins 100,000? It's people who do weird shit so minutes equal opportunity in DFS, in my opinion. So even though I don't love it, and I'm not sure I'm racing to get him in, I'm just saying, Jay Rich, if you're going to get 25 plus minutes under 4K and his name is not PJ Tucker or Tony Snell, it's probably, you got a shot. I mean, that's basically it.
I mean, you could take a look at Duncan Robinson. I mean, he's 5'3" on DraftKings, playing a horrible Miami defense. You never know. The guys like that, I look at more of a dart throw, man. You can't just plug it, set it, and forget it, man. You got
absolutely. And you got to have
some exposure to him, but don't put him in all your lineups.
No, like some people say, "Oh man, I lost money last night because you told me to play, just some crazy fucking person." I'm like, well, I didn't say put it in 100% of your lineups and it's like just have some exposure to him. Just get a little bit of exposure to the guy if you're playing multiple lineups. There's a lot of different ways that people play. Some of those dart throws are good. I don't see anyone else down here in this dart throw range. I did fail to mention Lonzo Ball with point guard. I think he's fairly priced. Looked good yesterday. I know he's on the trading block, so they're trying to showcase him a little bit. Players like that, anytime they are trying to, trade a player, etc., they're gonna try to put them in a position to shine just a little bit. So I do think, PJ Tucker and Tony Snell are absolute trash. Tony Snell's the original, doesn't do shit on him, and Corey Joseph, man. They're the OGs of players I hated on this show. I used to bag Corey Joseph every single day. I fucking hate Corey Joseph.
I think Tony Snell historically has the worst DFS night of all time. He put up a 0 in almost 40 minutes.
I can one up that one time. Young man Justin Jackson, when he played for the Sacramento Kings, he played 30 minutes and he got me -2 fucking FanDuel points. Justin Jackson, -2. Bro.
He's on Oklahoma now.
I hate Justin Jackson with an absolute passion. All right, moving over to small forwards.
Yep.
Switch over.
Also, right before we get into small forward, I hate when people come under our videos, your videos, and complain about playing a player 100%. We didn't tell you to play them 100%. We told you, especially if they're 4K, like you gotta logically know that a 4K player is not somebody you want 100% off.
Yeah.
And unless they're in an unmatchable spot, like certain things, it's just common knowledge. But yeah, you don't play a 4K player 100%. We normally give them to you so that you can mix and match your core with them, and you could kind of have your core 5 guys and then mix and match those value plays. That's the right way to use the information.
Exactly. I couldn't have said that better myself. And don't worry, for you guys who are new, I'm gonna for now when we have this is my first time having a triple on here on the stream. I got to get my son out here and create new backgrounds. I don't know how to do any of that shit. So my son, he's 16, he does all of that for me. So I got to get him out here. We don't work well together. He's always kind of an asshole when I ask him to do things for me, and then we yell at each other. It's just one of those. We get along great, but we don't work the best together. He and I. It's one of those things I'm trying to navigate through, and I'm an idiot, so it's not like I'm great at anything. So it's just one of those deals. Moving to small forwards. How about we do this? Now I'll have it organized. We'll start at the top with Easy, then we'll go to AJ, then we'll go to me at the end. Let's just go through the small forwards, say who we like. We'll go through the whole position, and we'll go one at a time. Boom, 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 and I can take care of the background noise. I think that'll work smooth. What do you guys think?
Oh, perfect.
Boom. All right. So rock and roll. What do you like at small forward?
To start up top, LeBron James, he'll probably be questionable by 3 o'clock. So
yeah,
I like him. The spot it's okay against Boston. He might play more today as long as Boston can keep it close. Jaylen Brown at 8,800 is a great GPP play on Fanduel, and he's 8K on Draftkings, which I don't hate that. He has a decent enough history against LA with a 38 and a 42. Also has a 21, 27, and 17, so pick your poison. Brandon Ingram, it's hard for me to get him in that spot because he's kind of sandwiched right there. And my favorite play, like above 7K today, is Jeremy Grant going up against that Golden State team. It's crazy seeing Jeremy Grant at 7,800,
and liking it.
And exactly, like that's so hard, but I mean, this guy has really, like, the role is different now in Detroit, where he left Denver because Detroit told him he'll be the focal of the offense. And if you watch Detroit play, he's shooting every single time, every single opportunity he gets. And also, one thing I like to advise is watch as many games as you can. There's a lot of streaming sites available. Nothing beats an eye test. I can tell you that firsthand, because you get to see how these teams work, how the rotations work, and that helps you kind of identify value and how the coaching rotations work as well. But yeah, 7,800, people are still getting used to seeing players like Grant being this high, so you tend to always get them at low ownership. So if you're playing in tournaments, Jeremy Grant, I like the spot for him. 1.12 fantasy point per minute guy. He hits 5 times value. This is the crazy number, 63% of the time at that price. If you would have told me that last year, that $7,800 Jeremy Grant would hit value over 50% of the time, I would have never believed you.
He's the most improved player in terms of fantasy player, fantasy rising, however the hell, if I can get my words to work. He's the most improved one, and Golden State allows the most fantasy points in the league to small forward, just to double down.
And another guy that's been making me money is Gordon Hayward. He's very hit or miss, but he's been making me money this year, so I gotta rock with him. He's 7,200, perfect. Like, I keep pairing Gordon Hayward and Jeremy Grant, and I keep getting 50-point games out of them at the same day. So I'm gonna keep riding with that. Fuck Harrison Barnes. He could go somewhere else. I just can't play.
He hit value last night, and I bagged him, but I can't do over 6K for him. There's no fucking way.
It's so hard to do it.
If I lose because I didn't play Harrison Barnes, that's going to happen like twice in a 10-year period where you lose because you didn't play Harrison Barnes. I mean, like, it's just a fade unless he gets to like 4,900, right?
Yep, exactly. But yeah, you can go ahead and take over at 6K.
Let's go to AJ.
Yeah.
Let me get him on here. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, perfect.
Now, one thing I wanted to mention too, to kind of piggyback off of what my brother was saying with Gordon Hayward, like, people are probably not willing to go there price wise most of the time. That's why we see him at a low ownership a lot. But we got to remember that Gordon Hayward, once upon a time, dating back to his Utah days, used to be a total badass. Prior to that freak injury, but we kind of starting to see him get back to that. And I think if this game is going to stay moderately competitive, I mean, Gordon Hayward going to have to go off.
Yeah.
For 7,300, 93 dash ranking, projected for 40 in this matchup. I'm loving him at that $7,300 price tag. You're going to get him at a low ownership. Of course, we touched on DeMar DeRozan, 7K on a back-to-back. I mean, he's going to have to show up. I mean, against a Memphis team that does not guard well. I mean, he's projected for 40 as well. Almost a 77% chance to hit 5 times value in this matchup. I kind of just skipped past Andrew Wiggins because I love his price tag, but you just never know what you're going to get.
Oh, God. I mean, it's tempting.
50 or 16, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Find out on the next episode. But Harrison Barnes, man, he's been consistent.
I know.
Here, man.
I know. I just that 6K.
I almost hate that I'm mentioning him on the video because I feel like he's going to pull an OG Anunoby from the other day.
Oh, yeah. He's going to. Like every time I'm like, fuck it. Okay, I've got 6K left and, or I got 6,400 left and I'm like, okay, Harrison Barnes or Kyle Anderson. All right, I'll do Harrison Barnes. He gets me like 11. He'll play 41 minutes and get me 11. I'm like,
yeah. But I mean, if you look at his game log, I mean,
I know.
He had a 45, 37, a 43.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has a pretty decent projection in this game.
He hasn't gotten over 24 in his last 5 against Miami. It's 5.
That would be the one thing that would scare me, his history versus Miami. But then again,
that's
it
was
was
Jimmy
a different
Butler
role when you look at it in the most of these.
Well, and Jimmy Butler would be there.
So you only play twice a year. So in previous years, he was probably in a more minor role. But now, I mean, Harrison Barnes, I mean, more nights than not, he's actually hitting value or exceeding value. So this could be a different story. You could get him at you will get him at a low ownership. Yeah. And he could absolutely smash at 6,100 mid-tier pricing.
Like it. Yeah, I guess just I like LeBron. It's in Boston. LeBron loves to play in Boston. Of his last 5 against Boston, including 3 in Boston, 65, 66, 57. I mean, his worst game's a 39. LeBron is playing at an MVP. I think LeBron wants the MVP this year. It'd be hard not to give him the MVP this year. I like LeBron quite a bit. Jaylen Brown, you're right. He's a tournament play. He's always low owned. Again, if it ends up being a Tatum night, then it could be a long night. Or Jaylen Brown tends to get into some foul trouble too. He's a terrific defender, but he gets a little aggressive or gets frustrated, reaches in, gets these early fouls, then you're totally fucked with Jaylen Brown. That's the problem. But I do, especially 8K on DraftKings, and we're talking a guy with 55-point upside. I could get there. Middleton on a back-to-back. Look, Charlotte struggles against small forwards, and if they kind of hold that, like Middleton's another guy who's low-owned, big upside, and if Giannis gets in foul trouble or they're double-teaming Giannis, when they have to run a half-court offense, Chris Middleton is their half-court offense. They can't give it to Giannis and tell him, hey, go dominate in the half court because he can't shoot. So that's why the ball goes to Chris Middleton, I mean, he can shoot better than Ben Simmons. Everybody can. But, so I have a little interest in Middleton. You're right about Jeremy Grant. I'm still not used to it. I don't know if I ever will be, but he's in my player pool. He's on the cheat sheet. I didn't even put him there. I would have put him there, but that was already taken care of for me. I love those sorts of things. It makes my life so much easier. Hayward, you're absolutely right. And I'm going to look, Michael Bridges is too expensive for sure. But I'm just going to say Michael Bridges has been good to me. I typically prefer him at like 5'2" or 5'3". Then I feel much more comfortable. 6K, 6'1". It's starting to push it just a little bit. 37 in their last game. Again, if without Devin Booker, he's going to see more usage, more shots, etc. So there is some interest there. And if you've got Chris Paul worrying about Luka, burning some energy, worrying about Luka, etc. Michael Bridges, yikes. Yeah, under 6K, Mr. Easy. What you like? Got to unmute you.
Yeah, I did want to say, I forgot to say something about Luka, but here's a narrative. He came out yesterday and said he's really frustrated about all the losses that they've been taking. So you could get a monster Luka game tonight, but I like Keldon Johnson at 5,700 and 58 on DraftKings.
Yeah,
I like playing big man that can shoot against Memphis because they tend to struggle against that. That's why LaMarcus Aldridge has a great history against Memphis. I mean, think about it. Just look at all the big men that can shoot, and whenever they play Memphis, they always have great games. But speaking of Aldridge, he's been terrible this year, but we'll get to him later. Carmelo Anthony at 5,200. No Derrick Jones Jr. If Covington misses as well, I mean, you just got to play Melo. And if he has a vintage Melo night, if he has a braided or hoodie Melo night, you're in a good spot.
Yep.
I can't do Cam Johnson. I just can't. Miles Bridges, I can't do it. Slow-mo at 5,800 always has that 40-point upside, so don't hate it. Kelly Oubre, man, he may be. I had him as my cover boy a couple nights ago, and he went for 12. So I just can't with him right now. Dorian Finney-Smith, I hate him. I don't hate him because I tend to get his good games, but I like in matchups like this, I just don't feel like this is a Dorian Finney-Smith night.
Right.
And that's about it, really. I mean, if you want some pain, like you guys would say, Abdel Nader is playing about 25 to 30 minutes. You just got to know which one, which one he's getting. I mean, Javon Carter played almost 25 minutes and then had a DNP the next game. So good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But that's about it, really, for me, because it gets uglier and uglier as you go down.
It does. AJ, where are you at under 6K at small forward?
Like my brother just said, it really does get ugly. I mean, obviously you can't sleep on Jay Crowder. I mean, I know he's up with 5'9", but I mean, you still have that glaring hole in the Suns offense. And Jay Crowder, I mean, when he's given the role, he can smash. I mean, he did put up a 35, a 36, and a 38 on DraftKings in the past 3 matchups. Is that cause for concern? 4 times in a row? Maybe, maybe not. But I think his price is fair. Yeah. As far as like under 5K, man, like I'm also looking. I mean, you can't sleep on in the Memphis matchup. I mean, he's damn near min salary. Devin Vassell. Yeah. I mean, he last 5. I mean, he's not one of those players that will give you like 5 or 6. I mean, he does put up around 20. I mean, I guess if you want to plug in, a 3 to 4K player, I mean, in this matchup, we could see him go a little bit over 5X potentially. Other than that, man,
it does get ugly. What about a guy like Garrett Temple? Minimum salary on Fanduel, 4.7 DraftKings for Chicago, getting 25 to 30 minutes off the bench. Scary low floor, but I mean, his last 5 games, 38, 19, 27, 6, and a 25, and that's his last 5 overall games. Minimum salary on Fanduel. I could probably get down with that on Fan. I'm not paying 4.7 on DraftKings. That's stupid.
Definitely not paying 4.7 on DraftKings. I plug him in. That's a Fanduel play.
Minimum salary. I'm like, I kind of like the Garrett Temple thing, and Otto Porter's at 5K. He's got if he gets enough minutes, he can get there. And again, he's going to see some of that Carmelo defense today. We're going to talk about Tillman from Memphis here very shortly. I'm going to let them take the lead because I am not responsible.
I'm going to let my brother take that one.
That he earned that one fair and square. I was like, wait, what? Who the fuck? By the way, 60 people in the chat box. Really appreciate you guys. Keep in mind, all the comments in the live chat too will qualify for the weekly giveaway as well. We'll announce that winner on Monday. Really appreciate you all making us a part of your day. And if you're watching afterwards, after the live show, you're watching the re-recording, be sure to hit the like button. We appreciate you guys doing that. Already half of you have done that as well. Really appreciate it. Carmelo has got to be in play too against Chicago if he's going to start and get all the minutes with all the injuries. 5'2" and 5'5". Bulls allow the 5th most fantasy points to small forwards. Look, he's been solid since Covington went down. He's been getting and McCollum 29, 27, 40, and 25. So there we go. Yeah, we do got a sex tape phrase right there. All sorts of them. They always run through my head, man. There's something wrong with it. I've never grown up. I'm almost 40, but I'm still a stupid child in my brain. That's just how that works. Like Duncan Robinson's listed as 4.4 on FanDuel. I don't mind that on FanDuel. Again, he's like these guys said, he's a scoring dependent guy. You need the threes to fall. And then when that's happening, he becomes more valuable on DraftKings as opposed to FanDuel. He's not really getting you steals and blocks and assists that make him more valuable on FanDuel, but that price is cheap. I wish I knew what Detroit was going to do with Josh Jackson. When they give him minutes, I love playing Josh Jackson for value because he can get you like 45, but then like the last game he played 17 minutes. So it's real tough. Miles Bridges, the other Bridges, not huge upside, but again, another guy playing 25 to 30 minutes. He's at 4.1 FanDuel, 4.3 DraftKings. Josh Hart has upside at 4.1 and 4.4. I think you could go there. Eventually here, Daniel House is probably going to start again for Houston and start getting 30-plus minutes again. They're sort of easing him back. Once that happens, I want to catch him on that early game, when he's still under 4K. I don't want to wait till he's almost 5K. He's played 13, and then he ramped up to 19 minutes the last one. So, look, that's like a super dart throw if you're just, you just hate yourself when you're trying to just go fucking crazy and burn some money. There you go. Daniel House. Moving over to power forward, we'll start. Let's just start with Jay. We got Jay unmuted and ready to rock and roll. Jay, what do you can just go we'll just go all the way through power forward. Just who you like at the top, the bottom, in between, title of your sex tape. There you go. See, we got it done. We got it done. All that. So if you go down here, what do we got going on here? Join RPS today, Andrew. Okay, well, thank you for coming in here. And now you're going to get put on timeout for that. Put user in timeout. There you go. You got put on timeout. Come in here and promote your other bullshit. Get the hell out of here. So, I don't give a fuck. All right, power forwards. Hey, what do you like? Top to bottom. Let us know what you like.
All right. Am I in? All right, cool. So, Giannis at 10-8. Obviously, I haven't played Giannis at all this year. Most nights I'm actually not getting to him. I'm more of a type to go more of a balanced build and then look for some value. Jeremy Grant, he's dual eligibility on DraftKings. We just talked about him at 7-8. People are probably still afraid of this new and improved Jeremy Grant, so we could always go there. Zion Williamson at 7-4 versus Houston. He's projected to get about 40 in this matchup. What's it? 69% chance to hit 5 times value. So shoot, I'm loving Zion in this matchup. He's playing what? You got him up against Christian Wood, Marcus Cousins, Oladipo. That's a nice little matchup there. So I can see him banging down low. Title of the sex tape.
There you go.
And Gordon Hayward at small forward and power forward on DraftKings. And what is he on Fanduel? Is he small forward only?
On Fanduel?
Let me see.
Zion's power.
I'm switching.
Hayward's small forward on Fanduel,
Small forward, so yeah. So 7-3 on DraftKings, and I should have lost my position, but whatever. Yeah. I think he's around 7 to 7.
7-2 Fanduel, I think Hayward was. Is that right?
Yeah.
Something like that. It's something like that.
Like I said, with Hayward, we're kind of seeing him get back to that old form. Other than that, on small forward, who do I like here?
Power forward, whatever.
Yeah, power forward.
You just go all the way down. If there's some value plays you like, there's not a ton at power forward. It's really top heavy, and there's Brandon Clark in the middle. Aldridge.
Yeah.
I could do Brandon Clark's if he's as he continues to start. But he's getting expensive now.
Yeah. Brandon Clark was one that I was more in love with when he was cheaper, but
5'6".
He could get there, but. But the one concern about Brandon Clark was always his fouling. Like, is he gonna come out just slapping everybody left and right, or is he actually gonna stay out there and play, 30+ minutes?
Right.
But as far as who I'm in love with at power forward, my draft dashboard is actually acting up. So you want to,
let's go to your brother. Let's go to.
I could just run through power forward. Bro.
Sure. Oh, whoops! I hit the wrong button. Hold on, I fucked it up. Unmute. Boom. Okay, there we got it. I'm a moron. There we go. Sorry, folks.
I had a few power forwards that I liked today, but we already know Giannis and Anthony Davis, so let's just go ahead get dirty with it. You got Christian Wood at 9,400, and I want to say, let's see, for 83 on draft. No, not
87. 87 on
87. Yeah, my math is terrible, but he always has upside. Right. And he's going to play 32, 35 minutes as long as the game is close. So that price tag is high, so people won't pay for it. Jason Tatum, you know what his upside is, had a 57 the last time he played LA. Bam, if everybody's out, 9-2, it's pricey, but he lives up to the price tag as long as the game stays close. Porzingis, he's been terrible lately, so he's due for a good game. And against Phoenix that are 16th against power forwards, you can go there. Last time he played Phoenix.
Do you think he'll play the back-to-back, Kristaps?
Yeah, he's played in back-to-backs this year so far.
Okay, he makes me nervous back-to-backs. I
always wonder if limited either. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Had a 56 last time he played Phoenix, so that's a decent spot.
Yeah.
I like to always say play the players that don't make people money, because once they go off, you tend to have them at low ownership and a nice bankroll at the end of the night. And
Right.
Blake Griffin did exactly that last game, where he was terrible most of the year, then put up a 36 at low ownership. Jay Crowder, I'd love to play, but his price is coming up now. I'll still go there as long as he's under 6K, but once he goes over 6K, I'm done with it. Brandon Clark, good play. PJ Washington has been a guy that's made me money this year. So 6'2", he was 6'4" last night and put up a 40. I'm willing to go back there. The matchup's a little tougher, but power forwards tend to have more success than you think against Milwaukee.
Right.
You got Marvin Bagley. He's been decent. Once upon a time, Aldridge would have been a great play in this spot, but this year I just can't do it. I can't do it with him. James Johnson.
Marcus Aldridge thing. He's the magic man, right? He disappears on the court. Like some nights you're just like, oh, he's a fucking top 20 player. But this year, okay, but he is 5'4", right? Like he's 5'4". He's back-to-back. He only played 22 minutes. Now only got a 13. And I said this exact same shit yesterday. Like, come on, that's so cheap for LaMarcus Aldridge. We got to try it. And he burned us because that's what fucking LaMarcus Aldridge does. He's an asshole. I hate LaMarcus Aldridge in terms of fantasy value. People don't freak out. I said that about a few WNBA players, and one of their aunts wanted to literally send me a private message. Told me, do not show up in Dallas for your test. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, well, I guess I won't go to Dallas. Definitely won't let Kayla Davis' aunt know when I'm in Dallas. I'll tell you that right now because I do believe she would kick my ass. LaMarcus Aldridge. Good Lord.
But
all right,
to give a couple value, James Johnson has been really solid this year, cheap price tag, even with Porzingis back. Xavier Tillman, like I said, especially if Joe Val sits. And actually this year there was a game where they actually benched Joe Val for him. So this matchup could go small very quick because Spurs don't have any real 7-footers like Joe Val. So Xavier Tillman at 3,500 on DraftKings. I'm not saying put him in 100% of your lineups, but you could him in 70%.
There you go.
The kid is worth it. He has that upside. I mean, his upside right now is a 34, which that's 10x on DraftKings. So you won't be mad when a $3,500 player gives you 34 and everything else you're able to fit. Frank Kaminsky turned into Nikola Jokic last game, so let's see how many people will go back there. I mean, it's not a terrible matchup, but me personally, he's 32, 34-ish on DK, so it doesn't hurt, but I won't be doing it.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson has been a huge letdown this year. Just absolutely horrible. I mean, Daniel Gafford, if you want some pain, I can't deal with it. I can't do it. And that's about it, really, for me at power forward.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like Kaminsky, it's Dallas allows the most fantasy points to power. Dallas is not good defensively in the interior. They're good on the wing with Richardson and Luka, and even Tim Hardaway's okay-ish, and Dorian Finney-Smith. But in the front court, Cauley Stein and even Porzingis can block shots, but he's obviously not the most athletic guy. But I don't know if like Kaminsky hadn't done shit. He basically hit his previous 4-game total in one game as one big game. No. That's way too fucking risky for me. If I made 150 lineups today, which I'm not doing, then maybe I would do that. But no, not in that scenario. Thad Young on Fanduel at 4-2. I could definitely do that. And he's 5K on DraftKings. So a little expensive on DraftKings, but look, his last 5 games overall, all over 20, 4 of those games over 27, 2 of those games over 30, including a game in the 40s. 4-2 for Thad Young. I think I can get down with that. Portland allowing the 10th most fantasy points to opposing power.
Price, definitely.
Yeah.
We know his high double upside.
Yeah.
And, it could easily go the other way, but I'm liking Thad Young.
Yeah, I'm liking Thad Young too on FanDuel as I look at that. James Johnson, he's right, especially if for some reason Porzingis does sit in the back-to-back. Chris says in the local news they say he's playing. I never, until I get the notification for sure, especially when it's a guy that they're really babying. They've been babying him for years. How long are you going to, like Kawhi Leonard, he finally played a back-to-back his first time in 5 years. How fucking long are we going to do this for where you have to injury management? So James Johnson's still been getting over 20 minutes. If Porzingis misses, he becomes even more valuable at 4-6 or 4-5. Just just for that comparison. Like another one who I keep playing because I just can't help myself at this price, and I know I need to maybe move on, is Draymond Green. He's 4'9" and 5'1". It's like, what happened? Like, why aren't you just get 10, 10, and 10? He's absolutely capable of doing it, especially against Detroit. It's not like he's not playing any minutes. It's really frustrating. But 4'9", I'm just like, he's going to have a 50-point game sometime this year. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's obviously not going to happen more times than it doesn't happen. So you're chasing here is basically what I'm doing, which you should not do. But I'm a sick fucking degenerate, and I do it, and that's just So I'll probably have some exposure there because he's cheap. Jake Crowder, you're right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, it's like we always say, you got to have a short memory in DFS. So
yeah, you do.
People he's been making you money. I'm looking at like, oh man, I hate to bring him up. We just had him as the thumbnail, but he just came off a dud, and apparently his name has been in trade rumors. He's playing Detroit. He's 6K on DraftKings. I'm gonna say his name. Don't attack me. Kelly Oubre.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Could this be the game? Like, I mean, last 3 times he played Detroit. He averages about 30, which this is fair around that mid-tier range, but I'm like, are we gonna finally see like that smash game? I mean, the dude's coming off a complete dud.
Yeah.
I mean,
look, I love Kelly Oubre. Every time I see his price there, I just think of his Washington and Phoenix days, and I'm like, oh my god, 45 and 55 and 62. I play him this year, and I'm like 7.5 at halftime. What the fuck, Kelly Oubre? Like, what happened to Kelly Oubre? He should absolutely, something's not working. There's even talk, I guess, of him going, back to, what was the talk? Back to Phoenix? Were they talking back to Phoenix? A little bit New Orleans. Yeah, I don't hate it. And Xavier Tillman, man, that $3,500 price, just to give people some perspective. Maybe you're like me and like, wait, Xavier Tillman? Because Memphis hasn't been on a slate and it feels like forever. Thank God Easy was like, yeah, Xavier Tillman. I'm like, wait, who the fuck? Where? Boom. I mean, last 5, everything over 20, 29 to 34, has played 28 and 27 minutes the last couple of days. Again, keep an eye out for the Jonas Valanciunas news. That makes things even easier. But yeah, I think that's it for me on power forward. Anyone else got anything left here on power forwards before we move to center?
No, just fuck LaMarcus Aldridge. That's it.
Fuck LaMarcus Aldridge. I absolutely agree. Fuck LaMarcus Aldridge, but god damn it, he's $5,400. So I'm probably gonna play him because I'm a disgusting fuck. It's probably going to happen.
I gotta play LaMarcus Aldridge now. I just have to. Because we're all saying the same thing. Watch him come out vintage Aldridge, 66 points.
He scored 66. I'm going to San Antonio.
Oh boy. I'm probably gonna do it. Continental says he's tapped out on Oubre. Listen, I get that. I get it. But you can't tap out on
big no homo right there.
You can't tap out on anybody in DF. Like, there has to be a price that you would play anybody. I tell people this, I do the sports betting show with sports SBR, and they always ask me, like, there's no condition that I wouldn't bet. And I'm like, there's a number that you should say I will bet on any team at a certain number because there's value there. Like, yeah, I hate LaMarcus Aldridge. Like, he drives me crazy, and Kelly Oubre. But you best believe, like, once they get to like, if they were both 4,500 today, they'd probably be in 100% of my lineups. I'd go all in, and there's a price and a number for every player. You cannot fully give up. And yes, I'm tired of getting fucked by Oubre too. Title of his sex tape. I'm sure there's someone else. There's lots of people tired of getting fucked by Kelly. I mean, he's a handsome young man. I'm sure there's some people who enjoy fucking him too. I don't know. Like, I would imagine so. NBA star, kind of handsome. Congratulations to him. There's plenty of more people who enjoy fucking him than enjoy fucking me. I can promise you that right now. So, we lost Whisper. Did I cuss too much and he just had to jump out?
Oh, no. He just a little. I think he clicked off.
It's my fault.
No, okay. He about to get back on. I think he just hit a button or something.
Well, AJ, let's start with you. Leads right into centers. Let's just go through the whole position. Just who do you like top to bottom? Who do you like as center?
I'm liking Steven Adams versus Houston. Steven Adams is pretty cheap right now at 5'2", 83 dash rating, 71% chance to hit 5 times value. You'd have him projected to get about 27 in this matchup. I am interested though, like to see how he matches up with Christian Wood. but I mean, he's cheap enough. I mean, now he's kind of getting like a little below mid-tier. Mason Plumlee, I got some interest there versus Golden State. Trash Golden State. I mean, 87 dash ranking. He's projected for about 26, 58% chance to hit 5 times value, and fairly decent history versus him, actually. Yeah, 27, let's see, 25, 44, 29. He did put up a subpar game the last time he played him. But last couple of games in general, he put up a 35 and a 29. So 5,500 Mason Plumlee on I think he's on Fanduel. He's 55. I think he's about the same on DraftKings. And then I have some little interest in Cody Zeller as well. 4,900 on Fanduel. And let me switch over to DK and see what he is.
I think he's 4-5 on DraftKings.
4 or 5. See,
yeah. I mean, if he's going to keep starting for, they do weird shit. Sometimes they start Biyombo just randomly, like, oh, here's Bismack Biyombo, and you're like, oh, fuck, okay, now I got to go switch it all. PJ Washington plays more center than he had been in recent, than he did last year too. But no, I mean, Zeller, 25 minutes last night, 29 minutes a game before, turned it into 62 combined FanDuel points. Yeah, 4 or 5, of course. Against Milwaukee, I don't mind him against Brook Lopez. Some centers can't play against Brook Lopez, like Andre Drummond. You cannot play him against Brook Lopez. For some reason, Brook Lopez just pulls him away, and Drummond cannot fucking handle it. But Zeller is not that kind of thing.
I'm sorry to cut you off. He's back in if you want to let him
Oh, shit. Yeah. Sorry. Let's get him back in here. Get him in here. AJ, continue with center. Is there anyone else you like at center?
Hey, now I'm on top.
Oh, yeah. I have no control over that, by the way. It's not me being a power-hungry asshole in the top left bigger screen. They're using their phone cameras, so this isn't me being an asshole and making my camera all bigger, but it's their fault for using their phone. So just for the fucking record here.
There's somebody that'll complain about it, I bet.
Dude, you know how many times
about everything nowadays.
Hear the names I get called and the things I get accused of, and I misspelled Kyle Kuzma's name once on Twitter, and it was a bad. Like I hit the K instead of the.
Cares?
I hit the K instead of the L. I'm like, well, I wasn't calling him that name. Like, Jesus Christ, that's. I mean, I don't know.
People do too much nowadays.
Man, it's like, good Lord,
it's too sensitive.
Yeah, it's true. Can't have a good joke. Have a good joke.
Center's kind of ugly today. I'm not gonna lie. There's not much that I like on center. I mean, DeAndre Ayton looks okay, but I hate playing him after a good game because he always tends to disappoint. Rashawn Holmes, if he could stay out of foul trouble, he's always a good play. Do not touch Boogie Cousins when Christian Wood is playing. He was like 7,200, I believe, last slate, and people still played him with Wood. Yeah. They're just trying to keep him alive just in case they get to the playoffs. So they're not playing him more than 18 minutes in the regular season unless they have to.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell can fuck off. He just ruined everything I had the other slate. Man. Kelly Olynyk is hit and miss. I mean, you could get a great game out of him or a terrible one. And if I had to give my favorite plays at center, it'll probably be James Wiseman or Mason Plumlee. I gotta hide my head behind a bag just to say it, but Mason Plumlee has been great this year, and he's had double-double and triple-double upside this year.
He
hasn't hit a triple-double yet, but he will eventually. And Golden State is the perfect matchup at. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'd rather play 55 Mason Plumlee than 54 Aldridge.
It's crazy.
I never thought in my life I'd say that.
Jesus Christ.
But
that's crazy. Yeah, it is. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. At least Plumlee will get a rebound. He'll run up the court. Marcus Aldridge just like stands at the half court marker, and I don't know if he like stares at the ground or I don't know what the fuck. He's just lazy. He's lazy. He's lazier than shit. Yep, exactly. Is there anything else at center, or should I give my little spiel and let everyone get the hell out of here since I've taken up an hour?
I think it's 75. Like going back to what brother said earlier, if Luka's coming out making statements like that, you could see the ultimate smash game from both him and Porzingis. So Porzingis is 75. If it's time for that 50 burger is now. So I mean, up against what do you call it, Phoenix? I mean, why not? I'd take a stab at him, but that's all I got for center.
Yeah, I don't disagree. DeAndre Ayton, by the way, is I don't know if you guys have played the new NBA 2K, but I'm doing my player and I'm in the playoffs. I'm playing Phoenix. I don't know why they got DeAndre Ayton. I swear to God, is the biggest player on the entire game. And when you're playing my player, he just I got drafted by the Lakers. He just made Montrezl Harrell his fucking bitch. This entire just it's like DeAndre Ayton takes up half the screen. He got 35 rebounds in one game against me. I'm like, dude, can someone just every shot was DeAndre Ayton just slamming it back to the line. You're not beating the 8-seeded Phoenix Suns.
I wish he played like that in real life.
I'm trying to tell you, he'd be a lock every night, boy.
Yeah, but I do like Ayton. I like centers against Dallas. I like front court players against Dallas. 8-1 and 7-8, 50-point upside. Dallas allows the 6th most fantasy points to opposing centers. I like Rashawn Holmes. I like Enes Kanter. Look, as long as Nurkic is out, Enes Kanter, 50-point upside, 6'9 and 7'1. Chicago's been good against centers, but Enes Kanter should be able to do whatever he wants against that front court in Chicago. You're absolutely right about DeMarcus Cousins. And I tried telling people, like, you can't play Cousins with Christian Wood. I don't understand why they would even think about it. Christian Wood gets all the minutes. Thank God, because I've been waiting for Christian Wood to get all the – how frustrating was he the last couple of years with Detroit? You know, he was sort of like the Chris Boucher. The Chris Boucher is the new Christian Wood. You don't know if he's going to get 35 minutes and put up 70 or get like 11 minutes. And, you know, like Chris Boucher totally fucked me in a turbo tournament last night. It pisses me off. But I like Plumlee. Brooke Lopez, I don't like it when he's over 5K. It's real iffy for me. I'm with you. I like Steven Adams a lot. I think that's too cheap for Steven Adams. He did have the one dud a few games ago, but legit 30-35 point upside at 5'2 and 5'5. Houston doesn't have anyone who can guard him. They allow the 7th most fantasy points to opposing centers. Cody Zeller, of course. James Wiseman, 4'4 and 4'8. He's another one. Look, he's not ever going to play 30 minutes, so you need him to be a point per minute monster. This year, what does he get? 1.16. You'd like to see that a little bit higher because he's only going to get, you know, maximum 25 minutes. But there's a lot worse value plays on the slate today than James Wiseman. What about Hassan Whiteside in a revenge spot against it's a back-to-back for Sacramento. It's a tournament dart throw here, but you get Whiteside. He's one of those guys who can get rolling in limited minutes with the back-to-back. Maybe they play Bagley a little bit less. Maybe they play a little bit less Rashawn Holmes, who's, you know, always in and out of the injury report. Maybe Whiteside, if you're looking for a dart throw at 3,200 on DraftKings against his old Miami team, did put up a 33 in 19 minutes in his last game. Last 2 times he played Miami, a 48 and a 44. He doesn't start. He won't be in the starting lineup barring some sort of rest or injury. But he could be like a tournament dart throw, I suppose, Whiteside. And that would really be it for me at center. Anything else to add on any of the players before we wrap this up?
Actually, I'm actually happy you mentioned Whiteside because I scrolled right past him. But I like playing Whiteside because Luke Walton's an idiot, for one. I got to get that out of the way. But I like playing Whiteside when they play bigger teams because then he doesn't just get played off the court. But against Bam, I can actually see him getting more minutes, and he actually played yesterday. But, man, earlier this season, I had a day where all I needed, man, to get first place was 2 more points from Whiteside, and Luke Walton pulled them.
Fuck Luke Walton.
Luke Walton pulled them, man. Cost me a nice trip to the bank. I mean, I'm not mad with what I got that night, but,
yeah,
man, that one hurt. But if he just lets Whiteside run, their defense is so much better. Like, he's complaining about all these defensive problems, but when Whiteside plays, he's a shot blocking machine. Right. Like, there was a game where they gave up like 95 points in the paint to Portland. Like, that was just crazy. And you had Whiteside sitting on the bench that whole game. Like, just play Whiteside. And for us DFS players, it works. For your team, it works. I mean, 3,200, he has been getting little minutes lately. So we know Whiteside can put up 30 in 15 minutes. So that's definite. You could pair Whiteside and Tillman, and you could do anything you want with your lineup from there. Whiteside, Tillman, DeRozan, Deontay Murray. Hey, you can fill out whatever you want for the rest of your lineup right there.
I love
it. That's a great tournament strategy or a little tournament core for you right there.
Yep, I love it. I love that. I've actually had dinner with Bill Walton, Luke Walton's dad. One of my best friends. His dad was Bill Walton's piano teacher in San Diego, so I got to have dinner with him way back in like 2001. We actually had dinner the same night that the Williams sisters were playing in their first ever Grand Slam final.
Oh wow!
I actually watched that with Bill Walton. That was right before MJ came back to the Wizards, and I asked him. There was all the rumors. I said, "Hey man, is MJ coming back?" And he wanted nothing to do with sports. Bill Walton did nothing. He didn't want to talk sports at all.
Yeah, he does that for a living already.
Yeah, he just looks at me. He's very serious too. Like, at dinner, he goes, "You guys want juice or milk?" And I go, "Oh, I'll have the milk." And he goes, "How about you have juice?" Very seriously. All right, Bill Walton, I'll fucking drink the juice, man. It's fine. It puts the lotion on its skin, man. Dang. But I know he's a lot of fun.
Such a
one more thing. Yeah, LaMelo Ball, I do think is interesting on a back-to-back. We've seen his upside. Maybe he didn't play that many minutes yesterday, so that would be another tournament play. I think that's it. You guys have anything else to add on any of the players tonight before we get the hell out of here?
Oh man,
let me see.
I got my crazy man, Christopher Richmond, say he doesn't play any grown man named PJ.
Yeah,
I agree.
I can't. It's hard to argue with that.
He's been playing. He's been giving me some good scores, so I got to roll with it. Yeah. Just shout out to everybody that showed up from the Discord and from Bachelor Pad, man.
Yeah, man.
It was a blast doing it, and we did it in under 2 hours, so we did good.
Yeah. It's 70 people watching live. Everyone out in the chat box. Like, that's really cool. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Again, if you're rewatching this after it uploads here and we're live, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe. Thank you, Akbar, Andrew, Chris, just everyone in the chat box. Be sure to go to DFS Whispers Twitter page. Go to DFS Whispers on YouTube. Check out their channel and their content. We're going to be doing this a lot more. See how easy this is to do. We're going to get them better cameras so that it doesn't look like I'm making I'm the fucking old ugly dude here. Why is my camera bigger, but I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to fix that shit.
Yeah,
so we're
trying to fix my camera too. I'm over here like the Tower of Giza or something.
Yeah, but man, I really appreciate you guys coming on. This is a ton of fun. Everyone hit like, hit subscribe, do that for all the stuff everywhere we got it. You want the player pools, there's the draft dashboard stuff down there. Yeah. May the fantasy gods be with you. Cheers. Have a great Saturday. And we'll see y'all later. Peace, folks.
All right. Yeah.